Hi, we're going to do a quick practice today that you can do from anywhere. This is going to be an entirely floor practice, so it's very safe for you to do. You can go down to the floor, you can do it on your bed. And the whole point of this practice is to focus on three things. We're going to work on spinal integrity. So we're going to go through the 6 basic movements of the spine in different planes of being. And then we're going to work on core strength, and that's really going to be through breath. So as we do these spinal movements, we're going to use our breath to really engage our core. And then finally, we'll work on some hip stability. All these 3, spinal integrity, core strength, and hip stability, are going to help you a lot with balance. And that's why we're working on it. Okay, so let's get started. Get something comfortable on, but you can move in. Few props that you can use if you need it. Keep some blocks close by, and then keep an extra towel or something to kneel on if you have sensitive knees. All right, here we go. So let's start by just sitting in any way that feels comfortable. If cross-legged feels good for you, you can do that. You can stretch your legs out, whatever feels good. Also, if you feel like you have tightness in your low back when you sit like this, sit up onto your block or onto a cushion, and just kind of raising your hips up, tilting your pelvis a little bit will ease that tension or pain in your back, okay? So once you're here, just close your eyes, bring all your attention back to your breath. We'll just do a few gentle breaths. You just want to notice the inhale all the way to the top, notice the exhale all the way to the bottom. And then rest your hands on your knees. If your eyes are closed, you can open them. You want to keep a soft focus. So let's go through those 6 basic movements. Again, you can do this in the different planes. So I'll just explain it once. The first one is flexion and extension. So you're going to lean forward, look up, lean back, look down, or chin tucks into your chest. Okay, so we'll do this a few times. And I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see. So you're going to arch your spine, lean forward, and round your spine, lean back. Once you do this about 3 times, so 3 forward and back, let's go to the next one. Okay, so keep your right hand lightly on the ground. As you inhale, you want to lengthen your spine, reach your left hand up. As you exhale, just make a little C shape over to the right side. Inhale to center, exhale over. Switch sides. Inhale to center. Remember to lengthen your spine. Exhale over. Inhale to center. Exhale over. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 movements, and then the last one's going to be rotation to the right and the left. So let's get our left hand to your right knee. Your right hand goes behind you. The first thing you want to do is sit up really tall, pull those shoulders down, and then gentle twist and turn your chin so you're looking back. Turn your eyes as well. On your next exhale, you're going to come back to center. Let's switch sides. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to twist. You're going to hold it here for 1 full breath in. On your exhale, you'll return to center. Really good. Roll out your shoulders. Let's take those same 6 movements, and we'll change our plane of movement from seated to being on hands and knees. So you're going to come into this tabletop position. Wrists directly under your shoulders. The first movement is your flexion and extension. Drop your belly down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round your spine. Again, we're doing 3 of these. Drop the belly down. Breathe in. Tailbone goes up. Chin goes up. Exhale. Push the ground away from you. Tuck your chin into your chest. Round your spine. Last one, you can add some feet and ankle mobility here as well. So flattening out your toenails as you breathe in, look up, tailbone goes up, head goes up. As you breathe out, curl those toes under, push the floor away from you, and round the spine. Really good. Coming back to a neutral position, let's go into the next movement. Okay, so swish your hips to the right, turn and look back at your hips. Swish your hips to the left, turn and look back at your hips. And again, we're just doing this 3 times on each side. Moving with your breath. Make sure you're turning your head and really reach as far as you can to look back. And the last one's going to be our rotation. So bring your hands slightly closer together. Press down through your right hand. Inhale, left hand goes up. Exhale, it goes through. So we're not going all the way to thread the needle where we hold it. We're just going to keep it nice and fluid. Inhale up. Exhale through. Inhale up. Exhale, relax. Let's switch sides. Right hand goes up. Inhaling, rotating the spine. So you're pushing down through one hand. You're reaching up. And then as you exhale, go through. Now, if you have any shoulder issues, if it hurts to reach up, you can always keep your hand behind your back and just point your shoulder up and slide it through. Last one here. Come back to a neutral spine. Good work. Let's go ahead and take your time. You're going to step your right foot forward. So this is your next plane of movement. We're still working on those same 3 movements of spinal integrity. Okay, so inhale. So quick check in here. Make sure your heel is directly under your knee. Your knee is in line with your hip. What you want to avoid is the knee caving in or the heel being really far in so that that ankle is getting a lot of pressure on it. Okay, so finding that nice firm posture. Keep your hips level. You want to make sure that you're not leaning forward. You also want to make sure you're not sticking your bottom out or pushing it forward and leaning back. Okay, so you want to stand nice and tall, shoulders above the hips, ears above the shoulders. For our 3 movements, inhale, arms go up. Exhale, down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, rotate. You're going to twist your chest towards that front knee. Bring your hands down to a T. And the last one, inhale up and bring that left hand down and you'll go into your twist. Really good. Come back up to center. Reach as high as you can. Let's make a C shape over to one side. Come back to center on an inhale. C shape over to the other side. Come back to center all along, making sure this knee doesn't start to cave in. When you're ready, take your time. Let's switch sides. Check in with that position. Ankle under the knee, knee in line with the hip, shoulders stacked above the hips, ears above the shoulders, no leaning. When you're ready, both arms go up. As you exhale, come down. Inhale, go up. Exhale, twist towards your front knee. Inhale up. Ooh, so you'll see that it checks your balance. Bring both hands down, press your right hand down, reach your left hand up, lengthen and reach. Finally coming back to center. And let's make a C shape over to one side. You're really lifting and stretching through the entire right side as you reach both hands over to the left, like you're passing a big beach ball over to one side. Inhale to center, exhale over. Inhale to center and relax. Right here is a great place if you want to take a break or if you want to rest or if you only have this much time, push back into child's pose. Let's all push back into child's pose and then you'll continue only if you have that little extra time. Really good. Come back to a neutral spine. So you'll see that we worked on balance in all of those movements. So you were strengthening in a very dynamic way. So now we're going to put that into practice. So we're going to go into bird dog, which is our supported balancing pose. So we'll come into our tabletop position, stretch your right leg back behind you, reach your left hand forward and float the foot off the ground. Breathe for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand comes down, leg comes down, no break or take a break if you need to. Left leg goes back. Right hand comes forward. Lift the leg, lift the hand. Find your stability. All you're doing here is trying to minimize the wobbles for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand goes down, leg goes down. Option here to push back into child's pose and take a rest. Now, here's where things are gonna get a little bit more fun, okay? So you've come back to sitting onto your heels, and I want you to slowly make your way into the pose known as Malasana, okay? Or it's just a deep squat. Now, if sitting like this feels really hard for you, there is nothing wrong with having your heels off the ground, or if all of this is just not working for you, you can always do this seated on a chair or just seated on the ground as well, okay? But one of the things when you're in Malasana is you want to make sure that you're not rounding your chest in like this. So use your elbows to push your knees apart. Send your tailbone straight down, lengthen through the spine, and this is the posture you want to be at. You want to have that ability to stay really tall as you sit here, okay? So from here, you're going to not have your hands in prayer, you'll have them in front of you, and we're going to start by moving to the right, so that left hand stays forward, the right hand goes behind you for support, and you're just going to dip your left knee towards the ground. So 1, come back, pause, switch sides, okay? So now your right hand is in front, your left hand is behind. You want to feel very supported as you do this, and you're lifting your hips and you're just touching this knee to the ground. You'll feel an immediate release in your hip. It should feel really nice. And then come back to center. Let's do this a few times. So you're going to rotate, touch, back to center, rotate, touch, back to center. Okay, last one here. Really good. And if 3 feels like too much, you can stop at 1. Take your time, slowly lower your hips down. Let's get a release so you can stretch your legs out in front of you. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Inhale, lift your hands. As you exhale, go into your forward fold. On your next inhale, come up. This time you're going to take your knees wide. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Just kind of wobble side to side, shifting your weight from one hip to the other. And then on your inhale, you'll bring yourself to stillness, interlace your fingers. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come up. Really good. And this is all the stuff we've worked on in class together. So you should feel like it's comfortable. I know this month is kind of hard, but we'll just see how it goes. Let's start to just windshield wiper your knees side to side. All right, now we're gonna try something, and if it works on video, it works. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. But I want you to start to stretch your right leg out, bring your left knee in, and you're gonna go into a twist, and then come back to center and switch sides. And come back to center this time. Right leg is extended, left leg goes over and twist. Come back to center, switch sides. Left leg extended, right leg comes in, steps over and twists. Really good. Now we're gonna, if you want to try and go one step further, we're gonna combine that Malasana sequence, the deep squat sequence, with the seated twist, okay? Let's see how it goes. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Okay, so we're gonna go into that twist, seated twist with the deep squat. So make sure you use your hands for support. And this is where you can always use your blocks to kind of make your arms longer, okay? So you use them if you need to, but we'll start in a deep squat. So you started with bringing one knee down. Now once that knee comes down, you're gonna lift your hips and sit over. And let's come back to center and do that again. Okay, so you'll start in your deep squat, bring one knee down, and then lift your hips and sit over to one side. So now you're in that seated twist. And then come back to center. And let's do the other side. So the knee goes down, you'll lift your hips, sit over, and you're on the other side. So that's one option of taking it further. So for this other option, your second option, if you want to take it one step further, you'll start at one end of the mat. Make sure you're holding for support if you need to. Stretch your heel out. And you want to find balance. It's not easy, okay? So find your focus, and only when you feel ready, you'll come into your prayer pose. I can't look at the camera and do this because it requires so much focus. And then hands come down. Walk yourself over to the other side. Stretch your heel out. And you might find one side is easier than the other. You might find it easier to keep your full foot on the ground. Whatever variation you need, you take it. Breathe. Really good. Good work. So we put together spinal integrity, core strength, and then balance all on the floor. So it's a very safe practice. And we're going to finish up with some very basic closing sequence exercises. Please remember to take some time for yourself at the end of this video to just lie down in Shavasana and rest and give your body that little extra attention. Okay, so for our closing sequence, we'll start by reaching back. Let's go into our boat pose just to final reinforce of that core strength. So you're keeping your spine really long, feet can be slightly off the ground, and then feet come down. Slowly roll back down to the ground. Once you're here, I'd love for you to do a bridge pose. So bring your heels in quite close to your bottom, hands on the ground. Breathe in. As you exhale, hips float up. Breathe in at the top. As you exhale, hips come down. Stretch your right leg out away from you. Bring your left knee in, give it a little squeeze. Option to go into a spinal twist. Come back to center. And switch sides. Really good. Few different options in case you are still feeling tightness or tension. You can windshield wiper your knees side to side. You can go into a happy baby pose. Whatever feels good for you to release any of that tightness. And honestly, just hugging your knees in and rocking side to side might feel really nice, like a back massage. Once you finish a few moments in Shavasana, take some time for yourself and then slowly bring yourself back up to a seated position. You can finish up with that same breathing exercise of just becoming aware of your breath. You can finish up with a vocalization where you just make a sound, either ah or or o, or you can do om if that feels comfortable for you. And just noticing, as soon as you sit up, you'll really feel that difference in your spine. I mean, I just did one practice with you and I can feel it. So let me know if you have any questions, text me. I miss you all and I look forward to being back so soon to practice again. The highest and best in me bows to the highest and best in you. Namaste.